Yes. Hello, everyone. It's really nice to be live here from the Continental headquarter. You can't see it right now, but we actually have a little crowd here, and here's Leo.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. We've
Thanks
had
for joining in.
yeah, thanks for joining in. We've had a little Friday bar celebration going on. Because, as you probably know, the campaign ends in almost 24 hours, and we're really excited about where it's gone already. More than 500% funded. It's incredible, and we just wanted to do like a quick outreach and see if there was anyone out there who had any specific questions that we could talk about. We already had quite a few people write us, which has been fantastic. It's so nice to meet all of you and see how the community is growing on Instagram and on YouTube and our small Discord server, and now also a little Facebook group. So whatever media is your jam, you're more than welcome to reach out.
Yeah. And for the future, please join on Discord if you want to just keep on the recent updates. We're mostly there out of all the other platforms. So yeah, join our Discord.
Yes. If there's any questions, you can write them, and we have Wojciech, our moderator, online, who will display them. And yeah, I don't know if we have any questions so far. Let's see. Other than that, I'm really happy to also mention that we have our like a small team of musicians who have started playing out live with Dubby. Just last weekend, it played a big show in France, and tomorrow as well, it will also go live on a bigger stage. And we're really excited to share who these artists are, and also if you're an artist out there who would like to try it out, you're more than welcome to reach out. We have a limited amount of Dobbies to go around, so it's like you can borrow it for a while. But apart from that, um, and maybe you can film up there, or we can take you can take the cardboard box. Um, this was the very first version we made. Maybe you saw it on one of the videos, and we wanted to send a shout out to someone who's been supporting it way from the beginning, which has been Electrosmith, and they make the development board, which is it's like the processing power and like the core of Dubby. And also this project was called Daisy Dub, and it was a dub delay, the dub delay that has now evolved into King Dubby's delay. And it's such a nice and user-friendly, versatile platform if you are on the more tinkering side. So if you want to solder stuff yourself and check your own components, select that and combine them into your own thing, Daisy is your jam for real-time audio. And
It's also an amazing programming platform with their open source code and their multi-language, multi-environment support. So if you're more in the C++ side or more into pure data, Max Gen, Arduino, they support a lot of it. So it's really a great learning platform and just build it yourself DIY thing. That can also translate into like using it in a product in real devices. And now it's so many new devices are coming out using the Daisy because it's such a good, versatile, and a powerful platform.
yeah, so big shout out to Electrosmith. And one of the design choices we took when we made Dubby was that we wanted to keep some of this flexibility that Daisy offers, and that's why we have these open source side panels that you can develop your own from if you want, and it's just a simple pin and hole connector that you can connect it to. And we are currently working making like a hacker board
Yep.
or a perf board for these. So this is going to make it easier once you've installed the hacker board. It's going to be really easy to connect just with the wires, and you could basically connect any form of controller that sends an analog signal.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, we want to keep developing these hardware expansions, so the side panels. So now we reached our first stretch goal, which is CV integration, which we're super happy about integrating with Dubby, and it's gonna open a whole world of possibilities having that. Yeah, it's still now in the process of making, so we don't know all the details yet how it's gonna be, but we have a good plan, and we'll definitely make it work. But yeah, also offering for if you want to tinker with it, it's going to be a great way to just explore with different sensors. Um, yeah, like we already have so many ideas and hearing from people cool stuff that you can just put on the Dubby. So we're really looking forward to just exploring these sensor technologies and
Um, so personally, I develop in Gen in Max, and I'm like so excited about the workflow with Gen. So I also want to shine a little light on this for someone who has maybe been uh, considering developing in Max MSP or Gen or Pure Data or another like visual reactive programming environment, that more and more tutorials are coming up that makes it easier for you to get started. And an amazing thing about this platform is that with Gen in Max, you prototype your idea and you have instant feedback on the changes that you've made because the program auto compiles what you're doing. So your DSP that is going to go onto Dubby, you can instantly hear the changes that you make, like the parameter changes or the DSP changes. You hear that instantly on the laptop. You don't need to flash it onto the device. So it's really fast to iterate on the algorithm that you're working on. And then when you're satisfied and you want to test out how it feels in your hands, it's literally a click of a button.
mm.
And then it's on a hardware device that you can take with you. So let me just check in and see how it's going with the questions. Yes. Okay. It's only my mic which is on. Great. I'll move it over here, but people can still hear it, but it's a little loud.
Sure.
Do we have any questions in the room? Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. Leo did mention a little bit about it.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great idea to put like pressure sensor like buttons, stuff like that. It's totally doable, totally possible. So we're gonna definitely explore that. Yeah, exactly. We also had ideas of using like distance sensors that you can use, motion of your hands and your body to, control some parameters in the algorithm, which is a super great idea. I really like that. Yeah, I feel like in the world we live in now, especially with technology, is just embodiment is such an important thing, and it's a way that we want to pivot to. You know, you of course have your buttons and your knobs and stuff like that, but being more natural about interaction, it really brings something else to making music, which is such a great art form.
Just also, please come with your ideas. It's like one of the other core pillars of this project is that we want to talk to you, like your ideas either for DSP or for hardware expansion. So if you have a good or a crazy or a bad idea, you don't have to keep it to yourself. We would be happy to try to explore that. And on that note, just yesterday we were out visiting Sonic College in Kolding, which is it's like the premier institution in Denmark for sound designers who want to get into like sonification. So making audio branding for companies or Foley for movies or podcasts or yeah, whatever. So it's a lot about like sounds and what they do to our minds and bodies. And they had a festival called Sonic Days, and it was 99% immersiveness. So they had I don't know how many Dolby Atmos systems, and I was lucky to be invited as a speaker at this event. And I was not talking about immersive audio, but I was talking about um, like the immersiveness of the creation process. So how you engage and interact with the music making through controllers, and it's such a vital thing, like this yeah, embodiment or tactile interaction with what you're doing. And I don't know if it's just me. It would be fun to hear, but I feel that since the music studios and the music making process went so fast from analog to digital, and it now became a household thing that you could do. Hi, Simon. That's one of our lead DSP developers. Yo. Um, so since we moved from analog to digital, and all of these tools became readily available on laptops and smartphones and tablets, we have been in the box for so long that now it's time to move away from the box. And it's also what we see here. We share the office with a music school called Rumcraft, where we teach music production, DJing, yeah, electronic music making. And the first thing that people want after they've learned to make music on the computer is how to make or engage with the music like with a MIDI controller or something else, like get away from the mouse and the keyboard. And like to me this is such a nice platform that it's not perfect because it doesn't exist in this case, but at least I can switch around the knobs, or I can switch around the polarity, or make macros, I can make new side panels. So we hope that for computer musicians as well, it will be like yeah, this multi-tool that can grow both into your studio setup but also to your live setup. um, Yes, all right. So we have Pimenta. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, man. And yes, I want to sync Dubby with my Denon Prime Go. It only has Ableton Link, no MIDI ports. Can the Dubby detect the tempo of a selected audio input, or is there any external device that can help? We are working on a tempo detection algorithm. It's not done yet, but I can see Simon smiling, and yeah, it's a work in progress. But for sure, that is something that will be implemented. And we have another comment.
No, there's a product that does conversion from Ableton Link to MIDI clock.
Oh,
It's
yes.
called Missing Link.
All right, there we go. So big boss Andreas Wetterberg in the house, and Anders Børup in the house. They heavy resources, so it's a good place to ask questions right now. Missing Link is a product.
By who? We can't remember.
Yeah, try to Google it and drop it in the chat. But yeah, Missing Link should be able to do that, and until then, we also have a missing link until it's been developed. But yeah, for sure, that's usable for many cases. So for sure. All right, we have another question. M87, thank you for tuning in. Will different colored enclosures be available after Dubby has shipped? Maybe. We'll see. What color do you like? We are experimenting. I guess we can show this, right, Leo?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's a very early prototype, but it's a black glitter
Yeah.
Dubby. Yeah, super crazy one.
Yeah.
We also had yeah, we had, I can show this
Oh, sorry, you need this.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I can also show it from before. Like we had some transparent ones, but also like glitter. You know, we are using these materials which are easy to build. So I think just offering like it really fits into the idea of Dubby being a very customizable tool that you can really make it your own. So we're up for like exploring with you if there's if you would like to customize it, we'll definitely try to figure out how we can support that and facilitate that process. But yeah, hack away and always either programming, software, and then also hardware. Yeah. Yeah, let's keep the dialogue with different materials and colors. But right now on the first batch that's gonna launch, so on Kickstarter, we have 3 color variations. It's matte black, it's ruby red, it's like a transparent red, and then we have a frosted white, which is also right here. So yeah, these are the colors that are gonna ship with initially, but yeah, we're definitely open to exploring more. Additionally, we also offer full aluminum casings, which we haven't decided on the colors yet, but we also, yeah, we this whole process, like, we want to hear your thoughts. We want to like keep the dialogue with you and really figure out what do you like the best, and then we'll try to facilitate that. Cool. Okay, I can read the next one.
Yeah.
Can multiple Dubby units be used at a given time in the same setup, no matter the setup? Absolutely. Yeah, we already had we had it many times at different events, different performances. Dubby is doing different things. Actually, just last weekend we did a really nice setup at a festival. It was a interesting and fun concept. It was like an electronic music festival, and then they had this area which was a maze, which was like different stuff happening around. And one part of it was they had a corner or like a section with Dubby, and it was 4 Dubbies playing together, and people could put on their headphones and then play collaboratively. So we had a generative drum machine. We had a super cool TB303 bass line, which Andreas has made. We had a very nice FM synthesizer inspired by the Digitone cross algorithm for the FM. And then we had our all-at-once multi-effect with reverb, delay, distortion, filters. It was amazing fun. People really liked it, and we also made it very accessible and very easy, so you can just, even if you're not a musician, you can just come in, put on the headphones, and jam with others. So yeah, to answer your question, absolutely. It's all about, mixing it in different setups and also using multiple Dubbies to create amazing sounds. Okay, aluminum is hot. What was about the ruby red? The best is the ruby red color with matte buttons, no doubt. Yeah, we love the red one. It's so hot. It's really something else. It's also like you can see in the device. Yeah, perfect. You can see the electronics inside. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, it's a bit tinted, but you can see inside, you can see all the components, how everything works. So it's also like a very beautiful design and like a nice color with it, so you can actually see what's going on. Cool.
Yeah, so let's. I wanted to just show a little bit of what we're working on the development side, and if let me just check. You might get a double screen here. There we go. No, okay, just a sec. So I just want to show you what is going on in our like gen development area. So let me know if there's any developer tuning in. It would be good to hear yeah, feedback or thoughts from you. And yeah, here we go. So this is a template that we're working on for Dubby to get you easily started with yeah, with prototyping DSP. And the unit that you see up here is the Oopsie object by Electrosmith, and we're developing further on Oopsie, and we're tailoring so that it fits directly with Dubby. And like, it's not gonna look like this in the finished version, but what we want to do is make sure that it's kind of like bulletproof, so it's easy for you to choose what expansions you have, and then it'll just automatically adjust the code to that, and then it is as easy as just clicking this button. And Electrosmith has more materials on how OOPSI works, and there's a lot of good examples. But here, how it works is we have this gen tilde object, and this is where all the processing is, and it's that object which goes on to Dubby. So everything out here is just for control. We have the knobs here, knob 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. You can see move down here, and then we have the joystick that we emulate over on this one, and then we have some buttons which well, they're not implemented yet, but we will have buttons and sliders as well that you can prototype on. And then we have some scopes and visualization to check how your processing is working. So right now this is just a pass-through, but you would be able to see what your what your DSP would be doing. So there's the original signal, the process signal, and it's nice to have this visual inspection of what you're working on. So if we double click this one, we open up the actual patch. And how it is set up here is that we have inputs up top, and it's the 4 inputs because it's quadraphonic, and each of them are completely independent of each other, and your patching is how it's all connected. So this one is just a simple volume control where we have the knobs, knob 1, 2, 3, 4 on top, and that just goes into a multiply object. And all parameters for knobs, buttons, and sliders go between 0 and 1. Like that's the rule. And then it's up to you afterwards to scale it to be between 20 hertz or 20 kilohertz if it's a filter, or to do something else. So scaling and math is how it all kind of like becomes your creation. And then we've made these like safety objects where we have a DC block at the end, and just a hard clipper to make sure that the processor doesn't go crazy if we send values outside of its range. And then we have the output down here. So as you see, input signal channel 1 goes straight down to output signal channel 1, and you have a volume control with knob 1. But we could just as well have connected this output over to the multiplier of this one and this one over here, and now all of a sudden we would have like cross modulation between the two. And that is how easy and how fast you can get into making DSP. Over here we have the joystick XY and all the gates. So button 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the joystick push as well. And we will be making more. Instructional videos on how to get started with this. Like we really want to get people into audio programming. So let me see if there's any other questions. Now it's just deep in the computer. Hey, do you still need beta testers? I think that comes from one of our people. Yes, we would love to get beta testers. That's also part of this like outreach, that if you are working on either DSP development, or you want to mess around with the hardware, or if you're an artist who wants to try it out and collaborate, or help us promote the product, like we really want to reach out to people, then please get in touch. We have a form that you can fill out, and we're pretty much like over capacity already, but as soon as we can turn them around, we're making prototypes here, and those can be lent out to to whoever is interested.
I have a question.
Jesper has a question. Yes.
The question is, if I get a Dubby and I choose to have sliders, or I choose to have a sustain and hold pedal,
Yeah.
and you put that in, is that working for? It's just gonna say, okay, now I know it in the App Store. Which effects work with that, or how is that gonna be?
Yeah. Do you want to answer that, Leo?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Do I clip it in?
Yeah, I'll hook you up.
Thank you. So yeah, first of all, with different side panels, different inputs, different sensors, we make it. We put some hardware components that actually the Dubby, the device, can detect which side panel has been put on which side, and then automatically adjust the code to work with different either like analog inputs or like gates, digital inputs, all that kind of stuff. So just kind of like makes it automatic, so you don't have to think about it. And then of course there comes this thing where one panel or like different sensors might make more sense to work with different effects or different algorithms. So we also want to definitely explore that to kind of make it easier for you. So okay, I have this kind of configuration, and with this configuration, it works the best if I use this effect or this synthesizer or stuff like that. We don't have that implemented yet, but we definitely want to go in that direction and just make it easy for all of us and all of you to it's just like plug and play. Yeah, we definitely want to work on that more.
Yeah. We just heard that the Instagram feed just came online. So I don't know, can you do a very quick welcome to the people tuning in
Sure.
on Instagram?
Hey, Instagram people, so nice that you joined this live stream. It's been one crazy month. We are just approaching the last 24 hours on Kickstarter with over 140 backers and over 40,000 euros. So it's really been amazing traction that we received, and we are so happy and so thankful to all of you who has backed the project and who is helping us actually make this and push Dubby out to the world. So again, sending so much love here from our office in Copenhagen. Yeah, and thanks again for tuning in. Rasmus just had a quick session in Jan where he showed how things work in the environment. We're also constantly just answering your questions. So if you have any questions about Dubby, about the whole process, what's next, what are our plans, all of that, just put them in, and we'll try our best to answer them.
Yeah, let's check the questions. All right. Can I do?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. It's William. Hey, William. Nice of you to tune in. Hi, guys. If I dream of my own UI software solution for what I need, how do I approach the development of this web app, custom scripting? All the best. I'll give it back to you.
Sure. Wait, just so I get it right. If I dream of my own UI software solution for what I need, I guess you're asking about making a custom design for your Dubby, so custom. Am I getting it right?
I think there's two. To me, there's two questions here. So a custom UI would definitely be possible. It's something that we should talk about for sure. But the software solution, you need to elaborate a little bit on that. If it's like, what scope are we in? So yeah, please elaborate.
Yeah.
We would be happy to answer.
I can also answer in where we are right now in terms of like what we offer with software. So as you know, Dubby is open source, and we don't have our repositories up yet, but they're coming out very soon. So we have a library called libdubby, which will be the core of all the firmware for Dubby. And then we kind of like branch out in different ways. So of course you can just go into the software and make your own code. We also are building a platform called Dubby Studio, which we called Dubby App Store so far. So that's the same thing. It's our web platform where you can browse different algorithms. Maybe you can also show it on the screen if you'd like. Yes, so different effects, synthesizers, tools. So we want to have this platform, be a space where we put our algorithms online, and then also in the future be a platform where all of you can share your own creations on there. So there's that programming side, this platform side, and then on top of that we're also building another, or it's going to be part of the whole ecosystem. It's a platform called Dubby Visual Builder. It's a web-based, high-level programming environment designed specifically for Dubby. So it will be a visual, yeah, drag and drop, connecting objects, making a signal path, connecting with Dubby hardware, with all the audio inputs, outputs, physical inputs, physical controls, and then very quickly just drafting an audio algorithm that you can just straight from the browser you can put on your device. So that's where we are right now, and that's our plans for the next, I would say, yeah, until we deliver the Kickstarter units to have this ready. So I hope that answers your question, William. Okay, from my G, will it be future? Will it be in the future possible to store more than one effect on the unit to easier change between the effects that you want to have on a standalone unit? So Dubby works by default for one algorithm or one effect synthesizer at a time. So you cannot load more than one on it, but we are also like exploring of making combo algorithms, making custom stuff. Also, just kind of like on the App Store that you can try to combine different stuff and then build the code, compile it, and then put it on your device. So kind of like have some options where you can mix and match and design algorithm that is kind of like specific to what you want to use.
But with Gen, I mean, basically it comes down to how much processing power they would take.
Exactly.
In either C++ or in Gen. So yeah, Oopsie does allow you to have Oopsie does allow you to have multiple Gen objects. It is not implemented on Dubby yet, but what we have done instead is we just load up the different patches with multiple effects, and you can select how much gas you want to put on. Like you choose the sample rate that it should run at, and you can also choose the block size. So it's just like in your DAW. If you need time and resolution, it's one way. Or if you don't care so much about time, but you need more bandwidth, then you can just adjust. You can adjust for that. So it's really up to you. But it's something that we're working on trying to make easy.
Exactly.
Basically, we just want to maximize whatever Daisy can and make it as user-friendly as possible, because that's the way we would use it.
Yeah, 100%. Cool.
So I want to... Oh, okay.
Okay, I can answer this one as well.
Yeah.
Is it possible to map multiple parameters to one axis of the joystick? So if I wanted to map both the feedback and the mix of the effect on the x-axis of the joystick, would that be possible? Yeah, absolutely.
Let's show it.
Yeah.
You can talk, and then I will show it. I'll flash it through the App Store, and then we will map it. And maybe you can talk while I do that.
Yeah, exactly. How we are building Dubby and the firmware of Dubby is to let you have as much control as possible. One part of it is this concept of parameters that we are developing. And we are trying to pull out as much parameters in the audio algorithm that you can control, and then put it in a big list where you can assign it to different controls on the Dubby. So, for example, on a axis of a joystick, or on a potentiometer, or on a button. And with that, you can also create macros. So you can have one control controlling multiple parameters, which is super nice. On top of that, you can also set minimum and maximum values that the parameter will go to. You can also switch them around, so you have like a negative polarity, or like negative way. And then you can also set the curvature of the parameter. So when for example, if you're working with cutoff frequency for a filter, you want it to be logarithmic. So you can choose between logarithmic, exponential, sigmoid, and linear, of course, the default. But yeah, so Rasmus just updated this Dubby that you see here through Dubby Studio.
Yeah.
So he can show you how easy and how accessible this actually is to do.
Yeah. I will hold it like this. Yes. Okay. So right now we're on the performance page.
Oh, wait. You
oh,
want
yeah.
the mic?
Yes. Hello. Yes, thank you kindly. So here we go. Right now we're on the performance page here, and it shows you whatever you have mapped. I don't know if you can see it, but it writes on the screen that we have time, feedback, cutoff, and mix. And we have the joystick as well that has like divisions of the delay up and down, and then spread. So it kind of like it shifts the delay time a little bit like that, and it gives a stereo feel. So if I want to change these mappings, I hold down the encoder for a second, and then I can go into the LFO page, and then further on is the parameters. And in here I can choose, it says sync delay, time delay, feedback, and so forth. And you want to map the feedback and the mix of the effect on the x-axis. Okay, so I will go down to feedback. It is already mapped, and then I go in and I go over to control, and I click it, and then now it's in mapping mode like your DAW. And then what I do is I just wiggle the x-axis, and now it's mapped to the x-axis. That's how easy it is. And at the same place, I can inspect the value, which is very useful when you set curvatures or minimum and maximum. And then I can move on and set the minimum value, the maximum value, and the curvature. So next thing was that we wanted to map the mix. So I go out, I go down to the mix. It's mapped to knob 4. And right now I will map it to the x-axis as well. And that's it. I can actually see that when I go left, I get a higher value, and when I go right, I get a lower value. And so if I wanted to invert that, I would just change the minimum value and the maximum value around. But that's actually how easy it is. And then I can go out to the performance page, and now it says on the x-axis a macro, because it's controlling 2 parameters. And we just had a very nice jam session, Henrik, Ferns, and me. It was a lot of fun using this particular delay, and it was way more dubwise than I expected. Again, it's one of Simon's creations, and it was a DJ set just running like a regular Pioneer DJ set when using the send effects on that. Yeah, so that's totally possible. Thank you, Cassius, for that question.
Yes.
Yeah. If there's any other, just fire away. Yeah, cool. And thanks to you for tuning in and asking questions. It's really exciting, and we really hope to connect with you in one way or another. And we will be doing more of these, both musical events, performative events, and also educational and community events. So what do the sliders do? Are they assigned to a specific function? So one experiment we did with the sliders was we made a version of King Dubby. Let's see, in here we made a version of King Dubby that normally on King Dubby you have the parameters on King Dubby is delay time and feedback, and then you have the filter and the dry wet. And the filter you can assign to be low pass, high pass, band pass, or notch. But what I really like to do when I'm doing these like experimental dubwise things is like in my live setup, which is I'm starting to get into Dubby into that. But what I really wanted to do was to have control over both a high pass and a low pass filter. So we took the side panel and switched it out to the sliders, and I would have a low pass filter on one slider and a high pass filter on the other slider. And in that way, I could really control what was happening in the feedback path. And that's just going to be a version of King Dubby that you can get. We have another algorithm, the High on Drums, which was made for this Pleasure Control Refractions Festival. That has it's a generative drum machine, and one slider changes the envelope of the kick drum. So if any one of you has had a machine drum, you know how badass the kick drum can be as a baseline. It's just out of this world. And we wanted to emulate that, so you can make it like an infinite envelope kick drum that becomes really nice and distorted by using this parameter. And the other slider just changed the tempo from 60 BPM to 160 or something like that. But like it really, it's up to you, because you just map the slider in the UI as
same as you map any other control.
Cool. How do I order a device? That's a good question. You have 25 hours and 30 minutes to back the Kickstarter campaign, which is it's live right now, and it'll be concluded tomorrow. So you can still make it and be the first to get a Dubby, and also get a pretty nice discount on the device.
On top of that, we have another stretch goal that we've defined on Kickstarter, which we are actually slowly approaching. So if we reach 50,000 euros, and this is going to be a version of Dubby that's going to be exclusive only to Kickstarter, so you will be able to get the OLED be a different color. So we chose super nice yellow color for this limited edition Dubby. You will of course have the option to choose between the standard white that we have and the yellow. So we really hope we reach this goal, and that we can actually like make this. And I think a lot of people would like to have a super limited edition of the Dubby. And also just yellow looks so good on Dubby, doesn't it? So yeah, the link for our campaign is you've probably seen it. It's in the event. It's everywhere. So just check it out. Watch the video, read through it, and hopefully back us on this project.
And there's a raffle if you back as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks. So we also decided to just give a bit back to the community, and for any of the backers, even if it was just €1 or to whoever backed, we're gonna take all of this, the long list of people, and then we're gonna choose a random person who will win the premium aluminum version of Dubby.
An upgrade to the aluminum.
Yeah, exactly. And if they already have the aluminum, right, then we'll help you design a custom algorithm for you. So
that's like the 5,000 euro per.
Yeah, pretty much. So I mean, ask your friends and your brother and sister and your grandfather to just back with €1, and then they might win the Dubby.
There's also the get a backer, the ambassador.
Exactly. There's also one other thing. If you already backed the project, and if you know someone who's interested in getting a Dubby, if you refer them to us, so if they buy the Dubby by your recommendation, to you we'll give you an extra side panel of your choice. So if you know anyone, if any of your friends, your family members also wants a Dubby, it's a nice way to get them in, and then you also get a bit of extra from us. Thanks.
So maybe you should ask if this could be something. So there's one over on the DJ decks. If one of you would grab it, it's a stand. Yeah.
You want to take over?
Yeah. All right. So we have something we want to ask you, and we've just been experimenting. We go to these events and to meet our users. And for the last event, the Pleasure Control, it was kind of like a nice rave. We designed these stands. So if it's something that you'd be interested in adding to the campaign, like we haven't decided a stretch goal or anything, but it would be it would be nice to hear if it was worth trying to explore the taking something like this into series production. And we experimented with different materials. So yeah, just a fun thing to add until we make the crazy deck saver. So we will take just a few more questions and we'll round this off. So there is a question here from Pimenta. Is there any possibility of adding Ableton Link to Dubby? And can you save your preferences for an algorithm? I think that's your area.
Yeah, sure. We definitely want to work on, have as much connectivity as we can. Unfortunately, Ableton Link is not something we have done yet, but we definitely would like to do it, and we'll really try our best to, have this awesome feature that Ableton provides. Have it on the Dubby. And then the other question was, can you save your preferences for the algorithm? Yeah, absolutely yes. Yeah, as of right now, it's you can save you can save your settings and like your configuration into the permanent memory of Dubby, and then also in the future we want to have different presets that you can save, so you can have different stuff. Yeah, different presets saved that you can always like go back and recall and like have different configurations of the machine.
And instant switching between presets.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we just have to tell you that we've received a lot of questions. It's so nice. We have Discord, and we also have a user group called Dubby Users on Facebook. So please go in there and post the questions. We will be more than happy to answer them, and they will also be public to the other users, so they might benefit from your questions and from our answers. So let's take one. Yeah. Well, actually, on Ableton Link, earlier we heard that there's a device. No, it turns it into MIDI. So there's this device called Missing Link. So do check that out. Let's do one more question and then round off.
Let's do it.
And if you like this kind of things, give it a like or a heart or something. It's nice to see that that is worth the fun. Can you can you read it out?
Yeah, sure. Can you give a short demonstration or explanation of how the Euclidean sequencer works?
Yeah, Simon, you want to come and do it?
Yeah. You should do it. So, Simon, our DSP developer, he is the creator of the Temple sequencer, which is a super nice Euclidean sequencer. So,
yes. So, do we have the App Store running here?
We can load it up.
Let's do it.
Wait, so hang on. Yeah, you will see how to put it into firmware update mode.
Yes. Here we go. Do you have the App Store open?
Yeah.
Oh yes, on the studio. We click the Temple sequencer. We click install. And we wait a moment. Nice. So, shall I do it with Ableton? Do you have Ableton open, or shall I just show how the interface works?
We can open Ableton. Why not?
Do that, yeah.
You can maybe explain a little bit about how it works
In the
while it opens up.
meantime, I can talk about this. So basically, the Euclidean sequencer, the Temple sequencer, it's a Euclidean algorithmic sequencer. You have 8 different tracks, as you can see on the display here. And for each of them, you set an amount of steps and how many of them are active. We call them events. And you can do that on different tracks. Essentially, they play out on different MIDI notes. So the whole idea is that instead of just sending it out chromatic, which would be nice for triggering drums, you can also tune them to a scale. Here's, for example, the C minor, and this one controls the octaves. And now in Ableton we are receiving a lot of MIDI, that is correct. If you just load some kind of plug or something, then that would be sweet.
So we have it,
That will do. So now we have it in a C pentatonic, and we can adjust the BPM to, let's say, 140. Here we go. And then it's basically just to fill in the different tracks. It's polyphonic, so you can get away with some nice rhythmic things. I like to not make it too crowded here, but yeah, in essence you have these tracks with the notes, and then once you've filled in whatever you like, you can use the joystick to make these momentary expressions. You fill in extra steps on each track. Give you these unique, in the moment kind of expressions. You can change the scale in real time, or the octave. And then you can adjust velocity per track, and you can add randomness to that to make it a bit more human, a little less machiney. And that's in general the whole idea. You can send out on different MIDI tracks, allowing you to use half of the sequencer on drums, the other half on a synthesizer, or for other creative things. Yeah, I think that's the essence of the tempo sequencer.
Yeah, and the velocity random, did you mention that? The random? Yeah, okay, perfect. Great.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
You want the mic?
Yes. Thanks for putting some music on.
Anytime.
Okay, we will conclude this this AMA now. We're almost at an hour. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in and for the comments and the feedback. It's a big pleasure, and yeah, we'll see you in the future. And go tell your grandma to enter the raffle. Because we want to see if we can get it up to 200 people. Why not? Let's do it. So there's 25 hours left now, and I will just check the final comments. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yes. Can
Yeah,
I
of
just
course.
One last words.
Final words.
Yes. Okay. Thanks again for tuning into this Ask Us Anything live stream. Thanks again to everyone who backed our campaign on Kickstarter. We're super excited for this next big step of the journey. Also, it's a Friday today, and we gathered a few people here at the office to just celebrate a little bit and to have them here. So big shout out to everyone who came.
Yeah.
And you also get a little tour of our cute little office. And I would really like to use this opportunity again to just say thank you to anyone who has been part of this project in one or the other or the third way, from so many people from the university, from the local community here, so many wonderful people who we met through different events around Europe, different festivals and fairs. The startup community here in Denmark has been extremely helpful. The different programs that we participated, incubators, accelerators, innovation programs. We have met so many wonderful and amazing people who have been a part of this journey. They really contributed to allowing us to actually make this. So it's been one hell of a journey. It's been so fun, and the fun is just actually beginning now, and we're extremely excited. So thanks again. We're really sending much love here from our office in Copenhagen.
Yeah, like maybe mention like Danish Sound Hub.
Yes.
And Danish Sound Cluster, everything that's going on in Struer.
Yep.
And the Danish Innovation Fund, InnoFounder Program, Ida Ingeniørforening Danmark, Mikrolegat, Fonden for Entreprenørskab. Even the culture, the Ministry of Export helped us out.
Yeah,
in
Ida.
a bit.
Thank you, Ida.
Yeah, and also Rokanon for helping with the live stream and getting out and doing like massive work on the outreach. And Zilia 3D Audio to the people on our advisory board. you all made a big difference. Each and every one of you, also everyone not mentioned, like just
Yep.
thanks.
All right, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. Ciao.
Thanks, everyone.